Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about identifying the parabolas. Identifying the parabolas. So when you get your quiz next week, and we're going to go over it again when you first get back on Monday, and then we're just going to do a quick quiz, but this is a great grade to get 100 on, okay? When you get your quiz, you're going to look for parabolas first, okay? So number one, look for parabolas. And parabolas will have x squared and no y squared, or y squared and no x squared. So when you're looking for a parabola, it's going to have an x squared but not a y squared in the equation, or a y squared and not an x squared. So only one thing will be squared in the whole equation. So on page 451 of the old algebra book, number 14, 17, 18, and 27 are parabolas. So those are taken, all right? The next thing you're going to look for are hyperbolas. And if you do it in this order, you can get 100 very easily. In hyperbolas, it has a positive x squared and a negative y squared, or a positive y squared and a negative x squared. You're looking at the squared terms, and one is positive and one is negative when they're on the same side of the equal sign. They could trick you and have some on either side of the equal sign, but when you move everybody to the left side of the equal sign, there should be one positive and one negative. The first thing you're going to do is look for ones that doesn't have an x squared or doesn't have a y squared but has the other one, and those are the parabolas. Get those out of the way. Then you're going to look for the x squared and y squared where they have different signs when they're on the same side of the equation. Get those out of the way. Now you're left with circles and ellipses. And these are pretty easy, but don't get, you have to memorize these rules. You can't have these rules with you because you're going to memorize these rules. You're going to look at the x squared and the y squared, and let's say this is an a, then the y squared is going to have the same leading coefficient. It's going to have also an a. So if this is 2x squared, then the y squared is going to be 2y squared, and they're both going to be positive. If the number in front of the x squared is the same as the number in front of the y squared, it is a circle of those that are left, and they both have to be positive, okay? If one of them is negative, then you missed it. It would have been a hyperbola. So don't miss those. If you have an ellipse, and then you have ax squared and by squared, a cannot be equal to b. So if the two coefficients of the x squared and the y squared are different, you have yourself an ellipse. Okay?